In this video, I will be going over Open Access and Creative Commons, the title of my final project. Drawing from lessons on Khan Academy and W3Schools.com, I was able to learn the basic fundamentals of CSS and HTML that would help me create this website that you see here. Using cpanel.com, programming website that is programming my website that you see right now, I was able to use what I learned about HTML and CSS to make a website for my final project. I made my logo, my banner that you'll see in other pages, and my background using Pixlr.com. On this website, you can create images and GIFs using pictures that you've taken personally or made or gotten from the internet. Using tools such as cut, copy, crop, paste, and other styling tools, I was able to make my animation along with my logo, banner, and my background. Now moving on to abstract of Open Access and Creative Commons. Open Access and Creative Commons has allowed students to enhance their research along with professionals, and it's enabled broad access and reuse of digital info. It has made a huge impact on creativity as students can find and use artifacts in their own work. Now, this doesn't only pertain to students, this also pertains to professionals, especially in the science field. People in the science field have said specifically that open access has allowed them to further their research and see research that they have never been able to see before. This is because, one, it's free, and two, it's so immediate and so easily accessible. Now moving on to the purpose. Online research outlets that are free from all restrictions are open access. It allows people to go in depth with their research without having to worry about copyright or having to pay. Paying for access to journals makes sense in the world of print because providing articles to each reader requires production of physical copies of articles. However, in the online world, it makes much less sense. Where in the internet, where if you have to pay something, usually people just scroll right by it. Now, allowing people to have open access to research, it allows people to get multiple artifacts and documents and all these educational resources for free, and it's right there in front of them at the touch of a button. The benefit of open access is, of course, like I stated before, it is free and it's immediate. The online availability of research articles combined with the rights to use these articles fully in a digital environment. The needed update for communication and research is what Open Access and Creative Commons provides. It expands the number of potential contributions to research other than those at wealthy universities that have access to all these scholarly articles because they pay for it, but not necessarily because they get it for free, which people from all colleges now can. The more people that can access and build upon the latest research, the more valuable that research becomes and the more likely we are to benefit as a society, which open access gives us the ability to do. When educational research the impact that innovation has had on society is that, for instance, textbooks now are $0 and you can just access it on Google all the time. In this video, when I used YouTube Video Editor to comprise a video from my phone, I talked about the impact it had on society along with other things. In the video, I described the value of having open access to information, the key role it has on society. Sharing ideas is crucial to the development of society so we can be able to work with other people who have different views and opinions on things, as well as expertise on certain topics. In my journalism major, for example, open access is great because it is a helpful tool to go back and fact check everything from the government databases that have wide ranges of research and information. In my video, I tried to incorporate that by recording my friend accessing the URI's library database and searching for information for her research. Open access is very important. Sharing ideas to others is very important so we can benefit on each other and collaborate together and make one great society. Now moving on, this graph shows the overall open access article growth rate along with the projected growth for upcoming years. As you can see, open access and the availability of articles has risen so high, and it will continue to rise within the next year. Open access and Creative Commons, other than computer science, has impacted education, of course. Nowadays, everyone goes on Google and just looks up the answers, and open access is mainly the reason why we are allowed to do that. Rather than making journal articles accessible through a subscription business model, all academic publications can be made free to read and published with some other cost recovery model, meaning it's usually going to be free. As you can see, I took a survey of people on Google Forms, and I drew my conclusion and made a graph here. And the graph compares the average interest rate of open access and Creative Commons with the age of people who responded to the survey. As you can see, most of the people that are interested in Creative Commons, or the people that responded to the survey, are mostly young. As you can see right here, most of them are in the 15 to 30-year-old range, making them rather young, so they probably grew up with either Google or Ask.com or some other search engine base where open access and Creative Commons is really visible there. Users can interact with open access and Creative Commons just by accessing any search engine, such as Google or Ask.com, like I mentioned. People can just search in any topic that they are researching, such as Creative Commons. I looked up multiple things. I looked up how to access it. I looked up how to use it. I looked up what it was. I didn't even know what Creative Commons was, and that's what open access allowed me to do. I looked up Creative Commons. I saw the answer, and there it was right in front of me. Describe in detail how the innovations technology incorporates at least one of the big ideas of abstraction, algorithms, programming, and or the internet to accomplish this purpose. Open access and Creative Commons incorporates the big idea of the internet by allowing to have access to a range of published work for absolutely no charge at all. As mostly you can see if you've been with the internet for a very long time now, most of the things that you see on the internet are free. And if it costs anything, people just scroll right by it. Open access lets people see so much information at such a immediate time for no cost. And it's really helped us in school, and it's really helped us in our professionals with their research. Describe how the innovation consumes data as input produces data or transforms data. Open access allows people to search through databases freely. As more and more people search for certain topics, the engine takes into account what people are looking for. Now, this means that the engine makes up a generated list of what is trending. Now, trending is either on Twitter or it can be on Yahoo. These search engines are taking into account of who is searching what and how many times people are searching it. Now, people are searching a certain topic in such a little time. People can see on a list who is researching what and why they're searching it. People can easily click on this and just see all the open access information on that certain topic. Describe at least one data storage concern, data privacy concern, or data security related to the innovation. Now, of course, with open access and Creative Commons, there's always the risk of plagiarism. What open access and Creative Commons lets go now is just you have to cite where you got your work. Now, some people don't do this, and then that takes into account that that's a security reason. You're taking in someone's work that's not yours, and you're saying it's yours. This is always a risk with open access and Creative Commons, and people have started to get more strict on plagiarism, but sadly, people still do it. This is my reference page where I got all my information. Here you can see Wikipedia, CreativeCommons.org specifically, an international journalist network where I try to relate back to my major. Here is the Wikipedia page to Creative Commons. I got a lot of my information from Wikipedia. It helped me out a lot. I drew a lot from my website and really helped me out a lot. For more information, you can access my website, dhollingworth.vps.cs.uri.edu/index.html. This will give you more information to open access and Creative Commons.